Okay. I'm Saiful Wadud Helal from Bangladesh. I came here with my documentary, Bangladeshi Ridoy. And this is my second time in this festival. 9 years ago, I came here with my first film. And I was very scared, like anybody who make his first film. And I was scared to send this film to the festival, and then somehow they liked it, they accepted. And it was a big thing for me, because this festival is a lot to do with me. When I came here in this country in 1988, and right after my arrival, I heard that there is a festival going on, there is an Indian film playing, and I wanted to see that film. And I didn't know where to go, what to do. And the time goes by, and I missed that festival. And the second year, by that time I was familiar with the town, and I came to this festival, and I was like a fellow who loved film and who wanted to see all of them. It's 300, 400 films, every year they showcase. And I was like, start from 9 a.m. and each day I watched 4 films, and then I went to work at night. And it was like 12 days for me. It's something. And after finishing the festival, I was feeling so empty, so lonely. And it was going on like that. And once I, figure out that it's like, every day 4 films, it's too much money. And then, fortunately, I was working with a Bangladeshi newspaper at that time, and I started to come this festival as a journalist. And by that time, I found a school here, and I started learning film. And I was a film student here at Concordia, and then as a student I came here. And finally, when I submit my film, it's like a graduation to me. Like, a film lover guy who loves film, who came to this festival as an ordinary audience, and then figure out how to come here as a journalist, and then a film student, and finally I came this festival with my own film. It's like a graduation to me. It's like I became a filmmaker from this festival. Yeah.
So the lucky happy ending would be you winning something here. That would be.
Yeah, maybe. And
so tell us about. So it's a little bit windy here today in Montreal. Tell us about your documentary.
Okay. Last year, I don't know that how many people know Bangladesh. Beside those cyclone floods and all this poverty, it's a fascinating place to share life with people. It's a very tiny place, densely populated. 160 million people lives in a tiny place, and there is soon I realized that I'll live my life with film for the rest of my life. I went back to Bangladesh. For a visit, and then I see that there is so many stories to tell, so many stories to share with the world, and that's how I decide that I'll go back and stay there. And this film is about. Last year there was a big demonstration, like after the Occupy Wall Street and the Arab Spring, there was a big, huge public movement in Bangladesh. And it was the documented movement for Bangladeshi people, because people had their DSLR camera, all those mobile phones and everything. I want to inform one thing, that 110 million people got the mobile phone, and 40 million people have a Facebook account. And the movement started from a Facebook status. And it was like 1971, Bangladesh got separated from the Pakistan. And 1947, when British left, they made 2 countries, like India and Pakistan. All those like Hindus and Sikhs, they have their country, India, and all those Muslim people, they said, okay, you choose. And then east part where I'm from, Bangladesh, this part of Pakistan, they decided to stay with west part of Pakistan. It's a country It's an amazing country, like no links, hardly any cultural link, because West Pakistan is one side and East Pakistan another side, and India is the middle. And they just connected, they relate themselves because of the religion. And soon after the independence, right, like few years after, they realized that it's not the religion, it's the culture who combined people, who attached people. And the Bangladeshi people had problem with west part of the country, because they wanted to speak their language in their alphabets. And Bangladeshi people are majority of population, and they said, no, we'll speak our language. Same thing like Quebec, And the thing starts from there, and then 1971, after, 20 some years, they said, okay, it's enough. We wanted to be we love our culture and we wanted to protect this. And there was a big war. And Bangladesh is the only country last century they fought for the liberation, and got independent in 1971. And my film is about about that conflict. About the conflict, after the 71, last year it was 43 years after, we realized that there is three kinds of education system grows in Bangladesh. One is English medium, one is Bengali medium, and one is Arabic. And those generation grew up, they have their own separate way of thinking and thinking of life and everything. And it was like the movement started to like there was a genocide, and it was like how much, like 3 million people were killed at that time during the liberation. And we want some kind of we can say punishment who committed that crime, because they wanted to take over the country one more time after 40 years. And it seems like the young generation of people who wrote the political view in their Facebook status that I hate politics, it struck them, and they said, no, enough is enough. We want, because we liberated this country to be a secular, to be a humanist people, and we cannot go back. And I don't know how many people are aware of Bangladesh right now. It might go back, like Afghanistan, like Iran or wherever, and it might go because there is so many progressive-minded people are still in Bangladesh, and they want Bangladesh go forward. And it's the conflict started from there, from a Facebook. They want justice. That occurred 43 years ago. There was a mass killing, and we want, because those people are still there, they became ministers and all those things, and they start manipulating the countries and laws and everything. And it makes no sense. After 40 years, we cannot go backward. And we wanted to free our country from that ideology. And young people, they after the Wall Street, after the Arab Spring, it was a mass public movement in Bangladesh, and I was there at that time.
So that's your film. Where did you play? Which festival did you play?
It's in Bangladeshi Documentary Film Festival, NYFC New York Film Center Festival, and it's here, and it's going back in December. There is a big festival in Bangladesh, and I send a few more festivals. I hope they'll accept, and my film will go there.
Wishing you luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Joy Bangla.